universities to create a positive academic climate in its campuses. The goal is in line with the vision of Universitas Airlangga to become an independent, innovative, and leading university both at national and international levels. As one of the best universities in Indonesia, Universitas Airlangga holds the responsibility to contribute to a more significant development in the global scale. This responsibility is reflected from the efforts to enhance the quality of education towards the global standards, to improve the research and innovation performance, and to conduct community services to the wider group of community. All of these efforts are derived from the spirits and values of Universitas Airlangga's motto, Excellence with Morality. The motto serves as a foundation of various elements in the academic aspect of Universitas Airlangga to achieve a just and civilized global society. Fakultas Kedokteran telah memberikan kontribusi signifikan kepada negara Indonesia, menghasilkan dokter-dokter yang reliable sebagai bentuk pengabdian kepada masyarakat. Fakultas Kedokteran Gigi aktif berkolaborasi dengan banyak partner dan universitas di dunia sebagai bentuk kontribusinya dalam pendidikan, penelitian, dan pengabdian masyarakat. Fakultas Kedokteran aspiring to be the next leading, independent, innovative, adaptive, and serve as the pioneer in the field of legal education, Faculty of Law Universitas Airlangga strives to producing professional graduates reflecting the value of excellence with morality. Faculty of Economic and Business Universitas Airlangga is a home to the educational, research, and community services activities supported by the conducive facilities. Faculty of Pharmacy is one of the pioneers in the development of science in the field of pharmaceutical technology and clinical pharmacy. Faculty of Veterinary Medicine is established to provide an education for its students to gain the general qualification of a practitioners in the field of veterinary medicine. Faculty of Social and Political Sciences aims to be the prominent and high-quality faculty whose the academic activities are reflected from the spirits of pluralism, humanity, democracy, justice, welfare, and religious morality. Faculty of Science and Technology aims to produce graduates who are able to reach the advanced level of their competence in order to contribute to the problem-solving issue for the development of the nation according to the principle and the concept of the relevant knowledge and technology. Faculty of Public Health aims to produce proactive, innovative, and professional graduates who are able to conduct research as a part of the attempts to support the advancement of health science in the form of community services. Faculty of Psychology has the main role and responsibility to produce professionals in the fields of psychology. Academic ideas in the Faculty of Psychology have also contributed to the significant development of the community, where they are in line with the three dharma of higher education. Faculty of Humanities Universitas Airlangga is initially established to produce qualified graduates who commit to developing the humanities and art studies and are able to compete both in the national and international levels according to the morality values. The Faculty of Nursing commits to being the center of education and development in national and international scales. Faculty of Fisheries and Marine strives to improve the quality of its graduates in order to equip them with the excellent skills in developing the science and technology in the field of fisheries and marine. Faculty of Vocational Studies develop the vocational-based education and conducts numbers of innovative international applied research based on religious values. In 2020, Universitas Airlangga officially established 5 new study programs under the Faculty of Advanced Technology and Multidisciplinary. School of Postgraduate, Universitas Airlangga has opened a follow-up study for the level of master's and doctoral degrees program as an attempt to support the development of the community. The study program, conducted out of the main campus of UNER, or known as PSDKU, is located in Banyuwangi, and it has been established by UNER in order to develop the potential of young generation based on religious values. Today, Universitas Airlangga has strengthened itself into the leading part of preparing reliable human resources in overcoming the challenges of the world. Supported by prominent professors, doctors, and teachers, along with its modern facilities supporting the teaching-learning process, Universitas Airlangga commits to providing the best education for all. Congratulations and welcome to Universitas Airlangga.
Master's Degree Program on Environmental Health, Master's Degree Programs on Epidemiology, Doctoral Program on Public Health, In addition to academic activities, students of Public Health faculty are also active in the non-academic activities, such as choir, basketball club, dance club, traditional dance club, music club, community service, and other students' activities. Faculty of Public Health Airlangga University has various facilities to support the students' academic activities, such as computer lab, epidemiology lab, health nutrition lab, audio-visual aid lab, environmental lab, as well as occupational health and safety lab.
Wujudkan prestasi dan cita-citamu bersama Fakultas Kesehatan Masyarakat Universitas Airlangga.
Hello, I'm Dr. Aziz Rahman, Associate Professor from Federation University, Australia. I'm really privileged to come to this WUACD. This is my first time this year. I heard about this summit earlier, but this is the first time when I came to Surabaya. I came to Bali earlier, but I did not come to Surabaya. But last night, when we met with the mayor of Surabaya, it was really fascinating to learn all of this development that's happening in Surabaya. It's really unbelievable, all of this progress and the development. And for this summit, it is really looking forward for the community development program and getting all of the people sharing their knowledge and expertise in different areas. My background is public health, so I look forward to share my knowledge regarding the public health and interact with the community. I'm privileged to be invited here. Thank you.
I would like to introduce my name. My name is Suan Sapon. I'm from Cambodia, from Royal University of Law and Economics. Yes.
What's what in your mind, WACD itself, and what hope the future, and yeah, maybe you can compare it last year and this year, and what the future for WACD.
Yes, this is the second time that I joined this program. Last year, I joined the program also, and I think that this is the important event for all, not only for Cambodia, Indonesia, or Philippines, Malaysia, but for all. As you know, university have play important role. The first is education, second is research, and the third is mobility service. Yes, as we know now, we are facing with the global challenge like climate change, fresh water shortage, inequality of poor and rich, and something else. So this community, we hope that we can share, we can learn, and we can help each other to the future. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And are you when next year in Malaysia? All right.
Cambodia.
Oh, next year in Cambodia.
No. Oh, sorry. Next year in Malaysia.
In Malaysia.
Yeah.
You want to join in Malaysia?
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah.
I will join this program because I want to bring all the information and all knowledge, experience from the event to share and make it the implementation of community development in Cambodia also.
Yeah, we hope WACD can more growth and can be more good for people and others. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah.
My name is Professor Xiaoliang Chen. I'm from Taiwan, Asia University, and I'm really happy to be invited to this WUACD. Okay, and I think that's a wonderful event, and we met a lot of delegates from different universities who are very interested in improving the benefits or the well-beings of the communities. So we're trying to figure out what might be the best way for us to cooperate all together and to find out the best way to serve the community. Okay, in the future, I think we are going to share more projects or more stories, and hopefully, okay, we will toward a more efficient way to work all together. Okay.
Yeah, for people and for all countries.
Yes. Okay.
And actually, what the difference between? Are you following last year's WACD?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What kind of difference between last year and this year?
Well, last year it's going to be the start, okay, for these alliances, okay, for these new organizations. So we're just busy making friends, okay, with all the all the delegates, okay, from different countries or from different universities. But this year's, actually, most of the members we are all old friends. Okay, we know each other pretty well. And we can just get into the details of how can we cooperate, okay, in the future. So I think that's more fruitful, okay, for our relationships. Okay, that's the main difference between this year and last year.
And last question, what do you think about Indonesia?
That's a beautiful country. You know, that's my.
Thank you so much.
It's the second time I've been here, and I think I love like everything. You know, actually, it's pretty much like Taiwan. Okay, the street scenes, for example, the Sarabaya is quite similar to what the city I have lived in, Taichung, which is located in middle Taiwan. Okay. It's a beautiful city. Okay.
I hope you can there and see the beautiful in Taiwan.
Actually, we have more than 200 Indonesian students in Asia universities right now. So we have a very close relationship with University Erlangga.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I hope can there. And actually in Taiwan is scholarship in Taiwan is
Yes. Actually, we have a government scholarship for the Indonesian students. That's called the Taiwan scholarship. Okay, so I think mostly a lot of students came from Indonesia or Ghana, their scholarships.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we are willing to provide more opportunities for Indonesian students to come to Asia University.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh, promo. Yeah, I following promo.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think of promo?
Well, that's one of the most magnificent things.
Seeing
in the world.
sunrise.
Yes, yes. That's quite, amazing. Yeah, splendid. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for asking me what is the impact of WUACD, and definitely this is a kind of opportunity for many of the universities we are working academically, but this is something how we can utilize academic learning in the community to develop them, because it's a very common thing we used to see in the university, relationship between industry and university, but relationship between community and university, this is emerging because industry is basically part of the community. So if universities can focus community in their work, that will really help the community to grow and also university to produce new learnings. So in Bangladesh, what we learned from here, we organize 2 training of trainers. We trained our teachers so that they can engage students in community work, and also they can transform academic learning into community development. So we are also learning from community. Those we are bringing in the universities. It's like from experiential learning to academic learning, and at the same time we are transferring academic learning to the community, assigning our students there. Like for poor kids, they're running some schools. For people with challenges like physical disability or kind of people who are really facing different problems, economic development, they are also organizing workshop at the community level. So we are actually involving community in 2 different ways. We are sending teachers, faculty members, students to the community to understand who they are and what they really need, or and how we can collaborate, work more. So this is wonderful to join this conference, and we are also following up with all these ideas among ourselves over the year. It's not just meeting for 3 days in Surabaya. It is we are connected for lifetime, and hope this project will grow more and more, and it will bring more universities, more communities on board. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
It's really good thing to be here in Indonesia. It's, as your motto, wonderful Indonesia. It's really great to be here. And I'm really happy to be part of this association as my university. And we are so far from here, but I know that if we work together, it will be the benefit of the community. And I hope so that we can just take action and do something for the people who need, maybe for the disadvantaged communities. That's better, I think. And we should start from the ones that needs more than anyone. For that reason, I hope this year we are going to start this action and take part in it with our students, with our academics and our staff as well. What can I say else? I don't know anything else.
Okay, thank you so much. Say your name and from your
I'm Nirman from Kırklareli University from Turkey. Yeah, and
do you have a hope for WUACD in third session and next year?
I think in Malaysia would be the third one. Yeah, and they want it, And Professor Yusuf Yulianto says that in 2023 it may be in Turkey. I'm not sure. Inshallah. Let's say inshallah. Okay, I'm going to discuss it with my rector.
Oh,
I
yeah,
hope
yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
manage.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Your campus in Cambodia, in Turkey?
Campus?
Campus, and
Yeah.
no, I mean, in Turkey have a good landscape in Cambodia. You know, the balloon,
Cappadocia.
Cappadocia. Yeah. It's, I want to go there.
Many people from Asia comes
Yeah.
just to
Oh, it's so amazing.
it is really a good place to visit, but there are lots of places to be visited. But it's not, it may not be the one, our university, because we are in the northwest.
Oh, in west.
Yeah, in the European side of the Turkey. So we're so close to Bulgarian border, just 40 kilometers from Bulgaria, and it's a small city, but it has a cosmopolitan population because of the Balkan immigrants. I'm also from Balkans, from Bulgaria. I was born there, but we immigrated in 1990s. So we are living there. I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to be working there, and I'm happy to be here as well. So,
One state that I want to come, that's Turkey. Because Turkish have a good history, and you know, Turkey Usmani is
Ottoman Empire.
And yes, so many, and sometimes I like Turkey football. It's like Nihat Kafeci, Rustu Rekber, right?
Yes. Rushdu, I also loved him for a while, but it's too many years ago.
Yes,
Okay. And
Akan Syukur, Hasan Sas, and Hamid
Arda.
Altintop, right?
Arda.
Ada Turan,
Arda Turan. And
Al-Fatih, ya, dengan penaklukan kan.
do you know that we have students from Indonesia in our university? 100 students from Indonesia.
Bursary scholarship. With bursary scholarship or
no scholarship? They're just coming to have their bachelor degree in our university. If you have high degrees here in Indonesia and from your high school, you can just apply online from the system, and then you can be elected. You can just apply with your diplomas. And then I think it is about $100 or $200 US dollars per semester, and we have lots of students. But the language is Turkish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Universitas Airlangga grows together in synergy with other top Indonesian universities to create a positive academic climate in its campuses. The goal is in line with the vision of Universitas Airlangga to become an independent, innovative, and leading university both at national and international levels. As one of the best universities in Indonesia, Universitas Airlangga holds the responsibility to contribute to a more significant development in the global scale. This responsibility is reflected from the efforts to enhance the quality of education towards the global standards, to improve the research and innovation performance, and to conduct community services to the wider group of community. All of these efforts are derived from the spirits and values of Universitas Airlangga's motto, Excellence with Morality. The motto serves as a foundation of various elements in the academic aspect of Universitas Airlangga to achieve a just and civilized global society. Fakultas Kedokteran telah memberikan kontribusi signifikan kepada negara Indonesia, menghasilkan dokter-dokter yang reliable sebagai bentuk pengabdian kepada masyarakat. Fakultas Kedokteran Gigi aktif berkolaborasi dengan banyak partner dan universitas di dunia sebagai bentuk kontribusinya dalam pendidikan, penelitian, dan pengabdian masyarakat. Fakultas Kedokteran aspiring to be the next leading, independent, innovative, adaptive, and serve as the pioneer in the field of legal education, Faculty of Law Universitas Airlangga strives to producing professional graduates reflecting the value of excellence with morality. Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Airlangga is a home to the educational, research, and community services activities supported by the conducive facilities. Faculty of Pharmacy is one of the pioneers in the development of science in the field of pharmaceutical technology and clinical pharmacy. Faculty of Veterinary Medicine is established to provide an education for its students to gain the general qualification of a practitioners in the field of veterinary medicine. Faculty of Social and Political Sciences aims to be the prominent and high-quality faculty whose the academic activities are reflected from the spirits of pluralism, humanity, democracy, justice, welfare, and religious morality. Faculty of Science and Technology aims to produce graduates who are able to reach the advanced level of their competence in order to contribute to the problem-solving issue for the development of the nation according to the principle and the concept of the relevant knowledge and technology. Faculty of Public Health aims to produce proactive, innovative, and professional graduates who are able to conduct research as a part of the attempts to support the advancement of health science in the form of community services. Faculty of Psychology has the main role and responsibility to produce professionals in the fields of psychology. Academic ideas in the Faculty of Psychology have also contributed to the significant development of the community, where they are in line with the three dharma of higher education. Faculty of Humanities Universitas Airlangga is initially established to produce qualified graduates who commit to developing the humanities and art studies and are able to compete both in the national and international levels according to the morality values. The Faculty of Nursing commits to being the center of education and development in national and international skills. Faculty of Fisheries and Marine strives to improve the quality of its graduates in order to equip them with the excellent skills in developing the science and technology in the field of fisheries and marine. Faculty of Vocational Studies develop the vocational-based education and conducts numbers of innovative international applied research based on religious values. In 2020, Universitas Airlangga officially established 5 new study programs under the Faculty of Advanced Technology and Multidisciplinary. School of Postgraduate, Universitas Airlangga has opened a follow-up study for the level of master's and doctoral degrees program as an attempt to support the development of the community. The study program, conducted out of the main campus of UNER, or known as PSDKU, is located in Banyuwangi, and it has been established by UNER in order to develop the potential of young generation based on religious values. Today, Universitas Airlangga has strengthened itself into the leading part of preparing reliable human resources in overcoming the challenges of the world. Supported by prominent professors, doctors, and teachers, along with its modern facilities supporting the teaching-learning process, Universitas Airlangga commits to providing the best education for all. Congratulations and welcome to Universitas Airlangga.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? Okay, so I already see Mr. Trias here and also our speakers for today. Okay, maybe before we start, I would like to say hi to Mr. Trias. Hello, Mr. Trias. Good afternoon.
Hello, how are you, Laura? Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm great today. And are you ready for today's webinar?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, that's great. Okay, thank you. And there's a lot of participants here. Maybe we will wait for a minute to start this webinar. And I already see our speakers here, Dr. Karyana.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, hello, Dr. Karyana. How are you today?
Great, great. Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, maybe before we start our agendas for today, let us wait for a minute for another participants to join with us today.
I think we can start, Mbak Naura.
Okay, so there are a lot of participants here. Maybe because it is already 12:11, I will start this webinar now. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. The Honorable Mr. Trias Mahmudiono, Bachelor of Public Health, Magister of Public Health Nutritionist, KCAS, PhD, as Principal Investigator, and our honorable speakers, Dr. Karyana from University Technology Malaya, Department of Science, Mathematics, and Multimedia Creative, and Professor Shuling Chen from National Cheng Kung University, Department of Food Safety or Hygiene and Risk Management, and respectable all participants of this seminar. Welcome to today's webinar, Implementation of Nutrition Education. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Naura Konita, and it's such an honor for me to be your moderators for today's webinar. Before we start this webinar, let's pray together, hoping that there will be no obstacles in today's agenda. And praying starts. Okay, there's no end in praying. And ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, allow me to introduce you to today's agenda. The first will be opening, and the second will be welcoming speech, and the third will be pre-test session, and the fourth will be presentation, and the fifth will be Q&A session, and next we have post-test session, and then we are going to do closing. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, moving to the next agenda will be a welcoming speech. And allow us to invite Mr. Trias Mahmudiono, Bachelor of Public Health, Magister of Public Health, Nutritionist, KCAS, PhD, to deliver his welcome remark. Please welcome Mr. Trias.
Okay, thank you very much, Mbak Naura. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Dr. Koryana and also Dr. Shuling, if she is going to come today. And also the one that I was very proud of, all of the students in Amerta class for this year. We have some students from Malaysia and also Bangladesh this year. Thank you very much for your hard work and dedication this year that you've been doing in the nutrition education classes. This is what we have been looking forward for the whole semesters, that you're going to share with us your experience on conducting the project of nutrition education, even though it has to be done online due to pandemic. I think more or less you have a glimpse of how challenges been faced for nutrition education program. And in the future, maybe in your work or in your future study, you're going to face similar challenges, so you know what have to be done prior to programs such as nutrition education. We hope that the Amerta class for this year is very fruitful and successful for all of you guys, and all of the grades have been released. I think you can check on your what do you call, cyber campus or in the Hebat. I think you can find it. And today is all about you. It's all about sharing your experience and knowledge in nutrition education. And also, once again, thank you very much for our speaker for today, Dr. Coriana. We hope that our collaboration is going to continue this year and also next year. And with the COVID as restriction, we still do this platform online. But in the near future, when travel is a little bit lifted, the restriction, we hope that we can meet you in person as well. And I think that's all for today's remarks. Once again, congratulations for all of the students of Amerta on completing the courses. We hope you the best in the future. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Mr. Trias, for your delightful speech. And now we are moving to the next agenda, which will be a pre-test session for all participants. And the link will be shared in the room chat, and all of the participants must fill the pre-test as the attendance form, and you will be given 5 minutes to fill up the form. Okay, so now the link is already shared in the room chat. You may access the link for filling the attendance link and also the pre-test, and you will be given 5 minutes to fill out the form. Okay, your 5 minutes start now.
Good afternoon, Dr. Shuling. How are you?
Hi, fine. I'm sorry I'm late.
No, it's okay. Thank you for coming. We're still having a pre-test session for all the students now.
Okay, so a minute left to do the pre-test, and for those who just joined in this room, you may access the attendance list or the pre-test form in the room chat session, in the room chat, and the pre-test will be until 12:21. And for those who already joined, you may access the attendance list or the pre-test link in the room chat. Okay, so the pre-test session is already over. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now we proceed to the seminar session. The first presentation will be delivered by Dr. Koryana Abdul Talib from University Technology Malaysia, Department of Science, Mathematics, and Multimedia Creative. And before the presentations begin, I would like to read Dr. Koryana's profile. And for the committees, could you please show Dr. Koryana's profile? Okay, so I will just read briefly about Dr. Koryana's profile. So she is our speaker, our first speaker today, and she is Dr. Koryana Abdul Talib, and she is from the Department of Science, Mathematics, and Multimedia Creative, Faculty of Education, University Technology Malaysia, or UTM. Okay, so you can also see here, there's also a lot of academic background from our speakers today and a lot of achievement. Okay, maybe you can scroll a little bit. Okay, so we already see the experience and also the achievement of Dr. Koryana. Okay, since we have such an amazing speaker here, why don't we just say hi first to Dr. Koryana. Hello, Dr. Koryana. Assalamualaikum.
Yeah, hello, hi. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
How are you today, Dr. Koryana?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
Okay, are you ready for today's presentation?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, Dr. Koryana, you may begin your presentation now.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Yeah. All right. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we have already seen your screen.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Miss the beautiful MC. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to all. So I'm Corina, senior lecturer from School of Education, Faculty of Science, Social and Humanities, University Technology Malaysia. Thank you for inviting me to share nutrition education activities in Malaysia. So I teach science and chemistry as well as conducting research, and in this area, there are some topics related to nutrition as well. Okay, so this is the flow for my talk. I'll be cover the why, how, what, and also some exemplar in nutrition education. So, and this is a topic that I'm going to talk about. That is nutrition education initiatives in Malaysia. All right, points to ponder. Is it true? You are what you eat? Have you ever heard the phrase, you are what you eat? Can I see response in the chat, whether it's a yes or no? So perhaps Ms. Naura can help me to see the response in the chat. Have you ever heard about this phrase?
Okay, so a lot of participants say yes.
Yes, okay. So I'm glad. Okay, actually this phrase is a notion that to be fit and healthy, you need to eat good food. All right. Yeah, I can see that most of you are agreed. Yeah, and it is true that you are what you eat. So nutrients from fruits is the foundation of the structure, the function, and the wholeness of every little cell in our body. So from the skin and hair to the muscles, to the bones, digestive and immune systems. So you may not feel it, but actually we are constantly repairing, healing, and rebuilding our body. So if you look at your body, so as you can see, every cell in our body has a shelf life. Okay, um, a stomach cell lives about a day or two, and our skin about a month. Okay, and a red blood cell about, I think, 4 months. So every day, our body is busy making new cells to replace those that have expired. So how healthy those new cells are actually is directly determined by how well we have been eating. Yeah. So a diet filled with highly processed food that's low or nutrient doesn't give our body much to work with. Yeah. But a clean, nutrient-rich, whole foods eating plan can help us build cells that works better and are less susceptible to premature aging and disease. So Dr. Trias and his team had done a very good job in conducting research and organizing this event related to nutrition education. Actually, it's very important, but yet mostly we are not aware or forgot to practice good, healthy food. So actually, nutrition is very much stated in Al-Quran. So in Al-Quran contain many foodstuffs and verses with nutritional concepts, and it recommends eating varied and balanced diet. So as you can see in Al-Quran, for example, Allah says, eat of the good things which we have provided for you. Al-Baqarah, verses 173. So, and we look closer into the scopus.com. This topic is very popular. And as you can see here, research in this nutrition education is keep on increasing. Yeah. Closer look into the subject area, you can see that mostly from medicine and only partly in social sciences, only 6.3%. Yeah, which means more work to be done in the future because we are close to the schools. Yeah, but when Dr. Trias asked me to share experience or share activities in Malaysia, so I can see that I was so surprised. Hey, only 6.3%. So I thought we have done a lot of things, yeah, but yet not much has been published, I think. Yeah. Okay. It's, you can see here a recent study. Yeah, nearly 14,000 children aged 6 months to 12 years. Okay, they see that there's an important issue known as a triple burden of malnutrition. This is the coexistence of undernutrient, micronutrient deficiency, and overweight. So these three burden often coexist in the same country and even in the same family. So this large-scale study was commissioned by Friesland Campina. They conducted this research in 2019 until 2021. So it involves 4 countries involving Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Okay, so this new study actually, they have already conducted their first study in 2012, and then they continue replicating this study. And in this second study, they found that the stunting and anemia still exists, especially in younger children. So, however, for older children, there is a higher prevalence of overweight and obesity. So most of the children do not meet the average needs of calcium and vitamin D intake. And we can see that the study shows that there's a vitamin D insufficiencies. So this triple burden makes it a matter of great importance to fill nutritional gaps. So this event and Dr. Tria's research is very, very significant, yeah. So that we aware about the proper nutrition interventions and also what kind of education programs that we can conduct, yeah. So based on Margaret's judgment, she said that research is the key to getting a better understanding of local nutritional needs. So because why? The result from the research will help in developing better and affordable products that meet the nutritional needs of children. And also we can setting up a programs like what Dr. Tia mentioned just now. Maybe you can come here and we also can visit University of Erlangga as seen in the montage just now. Very impressive university. Okay, I'm also excited to be there someday. Okay, so in Malaysia, actually we cater for all level. Okay, for example, from preschool until the community. Yeah, so here we have a preschool food assistant, or we call it bantuan makanan prasekolah. So I hope student or audience from Erlangga can also understand the Malay words here. Yeah, boleh ya, Miss Daura, can you understand most of the words? Okay, good. All right, we also have module Murid Sehat, Murid Selamat, or Healthy Children, Safe Children module. And also we have a lot of TV shows. We call it Didik TV for preschool, so to highlight about the food. And also we have a program, this one conducted by all the NGOs. Yeah, NGOs do a lot of CSR project with preschool. Okay, so Jom Sihat or Let's Be Healthy. And also, as mentioned just now, my area is science. Actually, for preschool, the science subject, we already have a topic related to nutrition. Okay, and for the primary schools, we have program susu sekolah, or we have school meal program, and we also have program hidangan berkhasiat or nutritious meal school program. Hostel food menu, this one is for those stays in the boarding school. And also we have healthy food program or program makanan kesihatan, and also a lot being taught in the science textbook in the primary schools. All right, let's move on to the secondary. So in secondary, we have a lot in science, in chemistry. Okay, we have a lot of topic discussing about nutrition. Okay, and then this also happen in students for boarding school. We have menu makanan asrama, and also we have healthy eating food for teens program. Yeah. All right. And for tertiary, okay, for tertiary, actually for universities, yeah, a lot of universities here in Malaysia, we conducted a knowledge transfer program. We also conducted corporate social responsibility with NGOs, with banks, and also other industries. And in our program and courses also offered things that related to nutrition. And for the public, yeah, especially this for nutrition health, actually the main player is from our Ministry of Health Malaysia. So they formed a My Sehat website and also My Sehat program. So a lot of health campaign being conducted by our Ministry of Health Malaysia. And I would like to share some of my activity related to nutrition through project-based intervention. Okay, one of it is I name it as Ketopia Challenge. Okay, in this Ketopia Challenge, actually this one we conducted before the pandemic COVID, so we have a face-to-face session. Okay, it was happened in 2019. This one is for secondary schools, especially concentrated on chemistry topic. So one of the topic in chemistry is about nutrition. Okay, so they need to use the Scratch apps to create animation explaining the concepts, and also quiz activities for the user. So and then at the end, we select winners, and these are the program. This one we join with industry. That is from DG Telecommunication And also we collaborate with our education department of Johor. All right, so moving forward, next we also use a design thinking approach to highlight about to inject something to do with nutrition. As you can see here, in this one, they undergo the design thinking process, starting from empathy, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Okay, for this project, we ask the student to create a cafe design. Yeah. So this one I'm showing to you is the Jamboard platform. We use Jamboard. This one happened during the pandemic. Yeah. Just recently, we conducted professional course for our undergraduates. Okay, so this one we asked the student to design a cafe. Surprisingly, Dr. Trias, not much touch on healthy food. Most of them are concerned about how their comfortness in, in the cafe. Yeah, they not many concentrate on providing healthy food. But yet this is a very important element. Yeah. Miss Naura, yeah, when you go to the cafe, I'm sure you search for healthy food, right? Okay, and this one another project. I name it as Visible the Invisible project. This one is to nurture the graduate attributes, skills, yeah, and to nurture the empathy feelings on the to the underprivileged people, especially the homeless people. So actually we slept on the street and we provide meals to the poor. So we have 3 programs concurrently conducted during that night. So namely Charity on Wheel, Feeds Hunger, Feeds Hope, and also Cardboard Community. So they need to write reflection on what they experience. And I can see that they all concerned about the food and the quality of the food. And also now they more appreciate the food they consume and avoid wasting food. Yeah. Okay. And this one, the way forward, yeah, I can see this one, integrating IoT concept and technology tools. Okay, for example, integrate our recent product, namely My Cambot, with nutrition education. So align with the advancement in the fourth industrial revolution. So I can see that there is a need to inject the IoT element and ties it with the nutrition education. All right, so yeah, so nutrition education has always been an extremely important aspect in developing a health lifestyle, yeah, and preventing all forms of malnutrition from a young age. And it is all more important now due to the decline of nutrition awareness in individuals today. So as mentioned in Al-Quran, eat and drink, but avoid excess. So remember, you are what you eat. So fuel your body with the right foods and it will reward you for making healthy choices. So healthy food leads to healthy body, which in turn increases your odds, increases your practice to have a longer and also happier life. Yeah. And I already come to my last slide. I hope I not exceed the 15 minutes time. Okay, so I would like to thank Universitas Erlangga, the webinar organizing team, and also Dr. Trias and the research team, as well as to all online participants and to the next speaker from Taiwan. Okay, if you have any queries, I can be contacted through corina@utm.my. With that, I end my presentation. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Okay, give a big applause for Dr. Coriana. Thank you so much for your inspirable presentation. You are what you eat, Dr. Coriana said. And we've already saw a lot of inspiring activities that has been done by Dr. Corina. And move to the next speaker. We have an amazing speaker. We have Professor Shuling Chen from National Cheng Kung University, Department of Food Safety or Hygiene and Risk Management. Okay, so I would like to read Professor Chen's profile.
All right. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, you are audible. Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for Charles' invitation. I'm glad to deliver a message, but last time I remember I have delivered about the education program in Taiwan. So today I just wanted to show you kinds of application about education, nutrition education. This is the topic is on diet under control of kidney disease from the perspective of the nutrition and public health. In this topic, we know the dietary is really important for control their kidney function. Okay, we know the kidney, especially some chronic kidney dysfunction is happen in the elders, but we know the chronic disease like high blood pressure, diabetes, or cardiovascular disease, as well other environmental factor. The age elder maybe more opportunity to have this disease, or family history, or obesity, or dietary factor, they eat a lot of fat, or other not really healthy food, or environmental factor like exposure to some pesticides, some metal. Okay, this is the risk factor of CKD. But on the basis from the life, we can see the human body, we need many elements or nutrition. Then we can find some spatial element like a phosphorus. This the component is similar in our human body as well in seawater. It's kind of the natural. Okay, then but we need to know what is phosphorus. Phosphorus, if you can see it on the nature environment, you can look at the picture. It's kind of soil, but a little brown or white, red, black. Okay, but this element actually is, if it is pure form, it is toxic. But actually, our kidney really need phosphate, and the phosphate, this element is very important for our kidney, and it's as well. We can take it from the food, but what kinds of food contain it? That's we want to evaluate as well. We want taken it, but we still need to control it. Phosphorus naturally at low level in water, plant, and animal. But if it's unnaturally, we can find it in fertilizer, cleaner, or wastewater. Sometimes phosphorus is found in less immediate, okay, or it's as well, it can detect in our body or in other biological organisms. And many study, okay, kinds of review of meta-analysis, they find some linkage between phosphorus and their CKD. So we need to know what is the balance between the intake and the kidney function. So we need to know what kinds of food contain it. So we need to know the CKD patient has been encouraged to eat high this food, fish, whole grain, fruit, vegetable, legume, nuts, and low-fat dairy. And then they need to avoid to eat a lot of red meat, sodium, or processed meat, sugar, okay, and a beverage. Like this. So how about the education in these kinds of passion? So first, we want to consider the food intake and the balance in our in human body, the phosphorus. Okay, but we need to know the phosphorus can provide can join the ATP. ATP is a kind of energy in our human body. So I said that we need this is very important to maintain the human body. Okay, so the phosphorus, because there are intake and some excretion, okay, from the urine. So the balance between the body, total phosphorus in the human body about 500 to 600 grams, okay, and 80 to 85% in skeleton. Okay, others in our intracellular, like blood. Okay, so it's where we can find the phosphorus. Okay, and in extracellular fluid, phosphorus is mostly inorganic. Okay, inorganic, like in but if it's in intracellular phosphorus, it is large organic. So if we eat some food, natural food, like meat, or like a fruit or vegetable, it's mostly it's organic. But if we eat from the processed food, okay, like a meatball, like a sausage, it's made inorganic. But organic and inorganic, what's the difference? It means the absorption rate. If the organic, it's about maybe 50% can absorb in our human body. But if it's inorganic, it's almost 100% can absorb in the human body. So that's the difference between organic or inorganic. So phosphorus join the biological function. So the phosphorus can involve structural component or metabolic activity or energy transport and storage or other function. So it's important. Then phosphorus can exist in from outside world into the human body. We can find it in blood or in bone or excreted from the urine. Okay, so we need to find a balance between this media. But you know, the kidney function, kidney dysfunction patient, there are some problem can really excreted the normal toxic in urine. So that's why the phosphorus abundant in this patient in their body. So that's why we need to reduce the intake of phosphorus compared to normal population. So we can give them for their nutrition education, but it's really hard due to the CKD patient. They maybe their progression is really long, maybe 50 years old to 80 years old. Okay, how a long time, but they need to change their dietary pattern while their kidney function in different stage. That's why it's so difficult to deliver lay about how to eat, especially they are elders. It's hard to give them the right information, and they can follow the instruction from the experts. So the first we need to tell them what is inorganic or some is organic, because if you eat the normal food, natural food without lot of processing or a lot of cooking, then it will be better than in organic, because in organic it is 100% absorbed. So it can add as a food additive. But organic, mostly from the natural food, or there are some fertilized added in the plant. So it also have some organic phosphorus. Then we can know, we can encourage them, don't eat too much. So we can maybe adjust, measure their phosphorus level in their serum. Okay, then we can see, but phosphorus is a large frustration during 24 hours. So we can see, as a person or a patient, maybe we can see the large, okay, you can see the peak. What time? After lunch or after dinner. After dinner in the midnight, we can see the peak phosphorus. So it's frustration a lot. So if you detect phosphorus, it's not really really a good method to oversee their phosphorus intake. So how can we do? How can we do to measure their phosphorus intake? So we try to encourage them in different way. This is about the phosphorus and longevity. It means if you your phosphorus, serum phosphorus is low, serum phosphorus is low, you may have a longer lifetime. Okay, so like elephant live over 70 years, their serum is low. Like the red mouse, their serum phosphorus is high, their life is so short. So it's a regression model, you can see that. So control the phosphorus is really important to extend their life. So this is, I can skip it. Okay, so we can give them some advice about the diet. Okay, from the grain, you can see the low phosphorus, medium, and high phosphorus. It can show them that. Okay, show them that maybe I'm not really show them this word. I will show them the picture. Then for grain and for meat and protein. So if they want to eat that, they can compare from the figure to see what kinds of food I can eat. Okay, I want to eat low phosphorus, but for this patient, protein is very important. So we want to eat, we wanted to know the milligram per phosphorus, milligram phosphorus per gram protein. So if just 1 gram protein with low phosphorus, it means this food is good. Okay, so we can advise them, oh, you can eat this category lot compared to medium, compared to high. So we can know they can eat some cuttlefish, chicken, tapia, and show red, cold, chicken breast, salmon, dark, milkfish. This food for them is good. Okay, but sorry, let me check. This is about how can we eat that. But it's this program process for 3 years. Okay, this we call AI food care. What's AI? Because if this patient take a photo like this, you can see the photo, right? Okay, actually it's too much for a patient. But if they take the photo and upload this photo to our app, then we can count the nutrition for them. Count maybe over 100 items like Caroline, like protein, like fat, like a carbohydrate, like sodium, phosphorus, and other nutrition. Okay, but I just select list 5 as a sample, but I can show over 100 nutrition for this food. But another is that we not really know, because this is a plate, but we have no idea how many percent of this plate you eat, because maybe you share this dish with your family, so they need to give some note how many percent I eat. Okay, this is trying and error. Okay, so I saw it's AI, artificial. Okay, they can active to give some note and to change the data. But why I want to do that? They don't need to count how much they eat, but if they upload the data, then we can show after count, I can show them, oh, it's alarm. Today you eat too much. Okay, so this is remind them and remind the doctor how to control their diet. Okay, this is I try to process recently. Thank you for your attention. This is my email. If you are interested in it, welcome to join us. Thank you.
Okay, give a big applause for Professor Shuling Chen. Thank you so much for your insightful presentation. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of participants would like to ask a lot of questions too. But don't worry, because we'll have the Q&A at the end of our session. And if you have any question about the speaker's material, you may ask your question. You may deliver your questions in the room chat. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, move to the next agenda. The presentation will be delivered by students from several universities. There are University Technology Mara, Malaysia, University of Central Punjab Lahore, Pakistan, and Daffodil International University from Bangladesh. And now, please welcome the first group coming from Nurul Ain and Janat. Hello, are you ready?
Hi. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's wait for my friend.
Okay. Okay, coming from group A, there are Nurul Ain and Jana. Okay, if you are ready, you may start your presentation and your 15 minutes starts now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Ain and my partner is Janat. Today, we are going to present our webinar report that conducts a project with Indonesian students. Okay, next slide. Okay, so this is me and here are my friend Janat. So next. Here are the contents of our presentation for today. Okay, so I will begin with introductions. First, let me begin the presentation by introducing the topic we choose, which is junk food. The participants are 2 elementary students from Makassar, Indonesia. This webinar was held from 23rd of June until 25th of June. So our goal is to promote healthy eating habits among children by reducing junk food intake. Okay, then I will explain why we choose junk food. First is because junk food was provided in public places, especially in school, because it is good, inexpensive, and doesn't need to be cooked or otherwise prepared. Second, children might think junk foods are high in energy because they are high in fat, sugar, and salt, but comparatively poor in other vital nutrients like protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. In addition, junk food is a new trend among children because it is quite attractive and the most children may like it. This kind of food can be highly addictive because kids frequently do not understand how it harms their health. Okay, next. Okay, now let's proceed with the content of our webinar. Okay, for day one, we conduct ice-breaking session for the students to help us to get know each other. Then we begin with an introduction on junk food by explaining what junk food is to them. For example, we show the picture of examples of junk food to the students. Okay, next. While for day two, we explain about the health effects if we consume junk food regularly to the students. We also encourage the students to make healthier food choices instead of eating junk food by showing them what can be eaten. Next, we also teach the students how to manage junk food, or in other words, how to reduce junk food intake. For example, we encourage them to do physical activity at least 30 minutes per day because it helps in elevating stress-induced unhealthy food choices. Okay, next for day three. Moving on to the day three, which is the last day of our webinar, we revise junk food by giving them a quiz to answer in order to assess student understanding about what we have been taught to them. Lastly, to draw all together, we state our goals of our webinar that to reduce junk food intake because it's not good and encourage them to replace junk foods with healthy foods. Okay, so I will pass to my next presenter.
Okay, thank you, Ain. So I hope you guys can hear me clearly. Okay, good evening to everyone present today, and my name is Janet, and in this section, I will elaborate more about pre and post observations of our nutrition education plan with elementary school kids in Indonesia. So next. All right, so here are the differences between our pre and post webinar sessions. Like previously mentioned, it was a 3-day seminar with 30 minutes each. And during the 3-day seminar session, we observe various aspects such as motivation to learn, engagements, their facial expression to ensure that we achieve our expected changes after the webinar ended. So pre-webinar, the first day, we observed that they display low motivation to learn, mainly because we assume that the webinar was held at night, so we thought that they were kind of tired or so from school day. And also we observed that they weren't able to give a clear answer on the definition of junk food. It was after the ice-breaking session, and we wanted to see how much they understand about junk food before we start our session. And furthermore, it was also observed that they have quite low confidence to answer any question given. However, throughout the 3-day session, we encourage them to engage, answer confidently, and include fun learning videos and activities to make them even more comfortable. So as a result, in post-webinar sessions and in post-webinar observation, their motivation and confidence to learn and interact with us increase as early after the first session. So to add, they were also able to give a clear answer to the definition of junk food compared to pre-webinar, and so it shows that they are focused throughout the session. Furthermore, at the end of the session, they are able to give many examples of junk food as well as its harmful effects and ways to manage their cravings, and thus prevents them from eating junk food. So from all the knowledge they receive, they are capable to make healthier food choices. So if we had a quiz given during day 3, so we asked them to choose which one is better, whether ice cream or yogurt, something like that, and they choose yogurt instead of ice cream. So the way they make healthy food choices can be seen during the quiz time. Okay, next. Conclusion. So we can conclude that we have come up to the conclusion that to educate elementary school kids, fun and creative engagements during nutrition lesson is so important, so that to increase their motivation to learn about junk food and much more healthier ways of eating. Furthermore, implementing nutrition education is vital, and it enables them to make their own healthy food choices, as they can differentiate what food does and does not benefit their body. So this actually can reduce the parents' burden to just to stricten their food intake. So overall, I can say that we succeeded to promote healthy eating habits among children by reducing foods, hence can be seen during the observation. Next. All right, that is all from us, Group A, Jannat and Ain. So I hope that everyone can understand what we present, and we were so grateful for this opportunity to do activities with elementary school kids in Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Give a big applause for the first group. Thank you so much for your insightful presentation. And maybe from Dr. Corina and Professor Shuling Chen, do you have any questions for Group A?
Okay, thank you for the chance to ask question, Ms. Naura. Okay, congratulations to Group Jannat and also Ain for this wonderful topic, and it's actually very useful, yeah. Okay, may I know, is there any challenges that you face during the conducting of your study?
Well, everything have challenges. So basically the main challenges for us is the language barrier, but thankfully we have our a lecturer from Indonesia, from Amerta program itself, which is Diki. He helps us to translate what we taught to the students. So in case we teach in Bahasa, and then Diki will translate in Indonesian.
Okay, I see. One of the famous quotes in Indonesia, I managed to visit Unimed. Makannya enggak enak tanpa teh botol. Alright, thank you, Jannat and Ain.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Corina, for your question. And now, Professor Shuling Chen, do you have any questions for Group A?
Okay, thank you for your study. I just wanted to know, because you mentioned about the low motivation pre-webinar, how can you say that? Is there any observation or any data to tell us for that?
Actually, it was not. I said that they display low motivation. So throughout their facial expression and maybe their engagement during the first day. So at that time, I actually assumed that they are tired from their school days, or maybe since it was 8 p.m. after dinner, so they might be tired, and also they are school kids, so their energy at night may be low down compared to day.
Or if you have a chance to settle your study or application, what did you want to change or to revise in your study?
One thing that I would do in for future programs, I would like to do more activities and help more and give more knowledge to them. Also, we should provide a proper questionnaire for them to answer, so we can actually have more reliable evidence for the pre and post observations and assessment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the speakers, Dr. Corina and also Professor Shuling Chen for the question, and also well done for Group A. And now we move to the second speakers. We have the second group with us today. Hello, there are Siti Nur Aisyah and also Izatul. Hello, Group B.
Hello.
Okay, are you ready to present your material for today?
Yes.
Okay. Your 15 minutes starts now.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group B for Nutrition and Education Project. I'm Izatul Harisa, and together with Siti Nur Aisyah,
Aisyah will present our project evaluation for the webinar. The title for our webinar is Protein Intake among Elementary School Kids. And the participant includes 4 students. Next. Okay, participants include 4 students from the elementary school in Makassar. The webinar session was held in 3 sessions. For the first session, we decided to have ice breaking with the students in order to make them feeling more comfortable with us and get to know us more. The second session was actually about the sharing session about the function of protein, recommendation intake of the daily meals, and about protein deficiency. In the third session, or the final one, we decided to record the pieces of information that we gave from both of the earlier sessions and have a quiz to make sure that they can take the information home. Okay, next. So, why did we choose the topic of protein? It sounds common, right? So the first reason is to maintain the children's health. And the second, actually the primary reason why we choose this topic, which is to prevent stunted growth in children. As we can see, there is a pieces of information that we highlighted in the statement that stunting is the consequence of chronic energy, which is protein malnutrition. This statement we take from an article titled Stunting was associated with reported morbidity, parental education, and socioeconomic status in 0.5 to 12 years old Indonesian children. This article was published on 27 August 2020. In the same article, the authors also stated that stunting is highly prevalent in Indonesian children. That's why we choose protein as the topic of our webinar. Next. Okay, the objective of the webinar first is to educate students on the definition of protein and its function in children. Second, to raise awareness of protein consumption, hence the children will try to include protein in their daily meals. Third, to enlighten the students about deficiency. Thus, it helps the student to take adequate protein based on the recommendation that Indonesian guidelines. Okay, next. After that, I will explain about our nutrition education plan for our webinar. Our mediator of behavior is create awareness of protein intake among children. One for the learning domain level first and the function of the protein. The second one, domain aims to boost aims on the Indonesian guideline. And the last is psychomotor domain aim to share ways to take adequate protein in children. Next, implementation strategies in the webinar that we use are introducing the type of protein, the function of protein, and providing knowledge on protein deficiency and too much protein intake. We also took alternative by conducting games during the presentation to engage with the children and attract their interest to improve the understanding of the topic. The channels of communication that we use are speaking in Bahasa during the presentation in order to ensure that the student understand the presentation and can build a good relationship with the student. We hope that with this education plan that we use, we were able to encourage the student to take the protein based on Indonesian guidelines. And with this, I will pass the presentation to the next presenter, Siti Nur Aisyah.
Next, I will continue our presentation with a pre and post knowledge comparison during the webinar session. So the first question is we ask the students if they ever heard of protein. And of course, because it is a common thing, all of them answer they have heard of protein before and after the program. Next. The second question is a statement that they have to choose either true or false. This is to test their knowledge on protein So the question states that protein is needed for growth, and pre-program, few of them knew about this information, but some of them also didn't know. But after we made the three sessions, all of them are now well informed that protein is needed for growth, especially for them who are still kids. Next. Okay, this is we asked them to list examples of food high in protein. So before program, they list out the common examples like chicken, egg, and fish. So after program and after we supply the knowledge to them, they finally can name or list better foods, a variety of foods that is high in protein such as cheese, milk, egg, fish, and chicken. The next question is, okay, this is a question called is severe symptoms of protein deficiency. This is also to test their knowledge about protein deficiency. Hence, before the program, some of them know, some of them didn't know that kwashiorkor is the severe symptoms of protein deficiency. But after the program, all of them are now well informed about kwashiorkor is the severe symptoms of protein deficiency. Next. Okay, this is also a question to test their knowledge about protein function. And before the program, some of them knew about protein function is to boost their immune system, and some of them didn't. Hence, after the programs, we are happy to know that they all of them are now well informed about protein function. Next. Okay, this is also a statement to choose whether true or false. And we ask them if they have to eat protein every day. So same just like before, some of them know, some of them didn't know before the program. And after program that we mentioned to them that protein is a nutrition that they need to consume in their daily diet. Hence, all of them are now well informed about protein, importance, and function that they have to take them every day. Next. Okay, these are the screenshots during our webinar session. Okay, we have introduction and game session, quiz session, and lastly, photo time. Next. Okay, to conclude our project, Izatu and I both agree that the objective of this program are successfully achieved. This can be shown throughout the pre and post result that I've just presented just now. Hence, we are all agree that the students did gain new knowledge throughout the session, and hopefully the knowledge can be used for them in future, and and even more better if they can share it with their friends. That is all from us. Thank you.
Okay, once again, give a big applause for Group B. Thank you so much for your insightful presentation. And maybe from our speakers today, Dr. Corina and also Professor Shuling Chen, do you have any question for Group B? Okay, for the first, maybe from Professor Shuling Chen, do you have any questions for Group B?
Okay, thank you. I really liked your topic, actually. Yeah, from the study design, I find you using a word maybe we call literacy. Literacy, it means we want to build or give them some knowledge and want to change their attitude, then change their behavior. Okay, so, but now it's a little pity that in your conclusion, you just mentioned, yeah, you deliver some message to them to indulge or to give them some knowledge. but actually you may change their attitude, change their behavior, to change their diet, to consider about the protein intake. So if you can, next time, maybe you can give some questionnaire or to statistic count some data about the attitude and the behavior, okay, in your questionnaire. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for Professor Shulington. Maybe for the group B, you may answer the question.
Yeah, listen, maybe not the question, just a recommendation.
Yes, thank you for the feedback. We greatly appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you so much for Professor Shulington for your recommendation, and also for Group B for your amazing presentation. And maybe for Dr. Corina, do you have any questions for Group B?
Yes, I have a question. Thank you, Ms. Laura, for the opportunity to ask question. All right, thank you for the wonderful presentation, Izatul NCT. I would like to ask you, so your sample, you only have four respondents, yeah, for the sample? Okay, so it relates to pursue recommendation. Yeah, I have some, I have a question also for you. Did you ask their habit of taking protein before you conducting the study? What is their eating behavior?
Yes. During the first session, we asked about their food. Recall what, because the session is held in the evening, so we asked them what they eat for lunch, and to be general or to summarize, all of them knew about protein, what they call in Indonesia. So that's why we said that, so now they have the basic knowledge. We just have to enhance their knowledge from now on.
Yeah, I asked it because you mentioned earlier about the severity of the stunted growth, yeah, in Indonesia. So with the knowledge about their eating behavior, maybe you can relate with your research finding, and then you can also report to us how they change in terms of the eating behavior after your intervention. And all right, so you have to consider, I think you have to take consideration, yeah, take seriously consideration of the Prof. Shu question just now. And I want to ask you one more thing. All right, so which one is a good intervention? Is it the content that you deliver, or the games that you mentioned just now you conducted during the study? Which one gave more impact?
I think definitely, yes. It is the games during the game session. Okay, that is that too. You can continue.
All right, thank you so much. Group B, back to you, Miss Naura.
Okay, thank you so much for the question, Dr. Corina, and also thank you so much for Group B for your amazing presentations. Once again, well done, Group B. And now move to the third speakers. We have the Group C with us today. There are Nurish Farisa and also Nur Amni. Hello.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Okay. Yes, you are audible. We can hear you. Okay. Okay. If you are ready, your 15 minutes start now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for providing us with the chance to participate in this program and deliver our project evaluation today. So this is going to be the report for our last 2 months of activity on the webinar that we held with Indonesian students on the topic of the relationship between males and the brain. Okay, next. About the presenter, my group consists of 2 members, myself, Nurish Farisha, and my partner, Nur Amni Nadira. Both of us are the second generation and dietetic student at UiTM Puncak Alam in Selangor, Malaysia. Next. Okay, let me introduce you about our project. First, the topic of our webinar is the relationship between males and the brain. And our participants are the elementary students from Makassar. This webinar was held over the 3 days on June 27, 29, and 13 June 2022. We are having a live webinar for the first session and pre-recorded webinar for the subsequent 2 sessions due to the time constraints and also because the students were unable to attend. Next. Okay, about our goal. The main reason we choose this topic is to provide children with early exposure to brain healthy foods and the need of taking care of our daily nutrition because what we eat affects our future self, particularly cognitive intelligence. Next. Okay, for the pre-assessment, we do it as a live webinar. And just one student could attend our webinar during this session because the rest of the students are having difficulties joining this session. So the activities that we have done during this session are as follows. First, we do ice breaking, introduce ourselves to each other to create a bond between us. And we ask the student what they usually eat in a day and what activity they do at the at school and at home. Then to keep the session exciting, we play a brain game to test their memory and attentiveness. And we explain to the students the advantages of playing brain games. And at the end of the session, we briefly discuss what we will learn in the following webinar session to make the aim of this webinar clear. Next. Okay, so here is the completion of the screenshot for our pre-assessment. Okay, next. Okay, I will pass this presentation to my partner. Thank you.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm Amni and now I will proceed with the next part, which is the content during our second webinar session. In the second session, we decided to teach nutrition education with some topics like how diets can affect their brain functioning, the effects of poor nutrition on brain development. Then we also listed down some examples of foods they can consume to boost their brain power and the reason why they need to consume the food. During the webinar, we also conducted some other activities to enhance students' understanding, such as playing games and watching animation videos related to the topic. However, this session is pre-recorded, just like Farisha said, because all the students were not free during the actual day of the webinar. Next. Okay, here are also some other photos of the second webinar session. Next. Okay, moving on to the post-assessment part. This is our last webinar, which was the third session of the webinar. During this session, we did a recap regarding the topics that they have learned previously during the second webinar session. We reminded them again about the 4 main topics that we have covered and followed by a quiz session, which was also related to the topics. After that, we played a related video at the end of our webinar. Then the students were given a Google Form link to give their feedback regarding the webinar. Again, this was also pre-recorded because students were not able to attend on the day of the webinar. Okay, next. Okay, this is how our feedback form looks like. As you can see, out of 4 students, only one student did fill the form, which was also our only participant that joined the first live webinar session. In the Google form, we asked them to evaluate our presentation skill and the materials or contents of the webinar, and the student was satisfied with both of our contents and how we delivered the information to her. Next. So in conclusion, we believe that nutrition education is important for us in helping students to gain more knowledge about nutrition and leading them towards a healthier diet and lifestyle. Thus, by implementing what we have learned in nutrition education is actually crucial to reach this goal. And the goal for our webinar, which is to provide children with early exposure to brain healthy foods and the needs of taking care of their daily nutrition, is successfully achieved by looking at the positive feedback form. We also believe that the messages that we wanted to deliver to the children are well delivered. However, up until now, we are still unsure whether all the participants actually watch our videos or not, since there is only one person filling in the feedback form. But after all, we are still grateful for the chance that has been given to us to conduct this webinar, and hopefully we can implement it in the future. Okay, after this, we will play a short compilation video of our 3 webinars, and I hope you guys can enjoy it. Okay. The video is in the Google Drive.
Okay, maybe for the communities who's in charge, can you please help the participants to show the video? Is it the video, right?
Yes.
Okay. For the communities who's in charge, can you please help the audience to show the video? Okay.
Jadi jangan lupa makan makanan yang sihat untuk otak yang sihat. Okay, seterusnya kita akan melihat satu video berkaitan dengan makanan yang sihat untuk otak kita. So saya harap awak semua faham dengan baik apa yang video ni cuba sampaikan.
dan berakhirnya video tadi, kami harap kalian dapat info tambahan berkenaan makanan yang bernutrisi. Dan setakat ini, itu sahaja webinar kita pada hari ini.
Jadi saya nak minta awak semua untuk main game yang kami berikan nanti dan juga isi Google Form untuk menjawab soalan. Okay, bye. Jumpa untuk next sesi. Jangan lupa join.
Kalian rasa betul? Tiga, dua, satu. Jawapannya okey, soalan kedua, iaitu soalan benar atau salah. Soalannya, adakah kurang nutrisi akan menyebabkan kesan sambungan yang akan kekal ketika dewasa hingga tua? Kalian rasa betul ke salah? Okey, 10 saat dah berlalu. Kita tengok jawapan anda. Betul. Okey, bila kalian semakin tua, otak kalian akan mungkin akan mengalami kesan sambungan jika kalian tidak mendapatkan nutrisi yang cukup seperti lupa dan cepat untuk bercakap. Okay, that is all from our group. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Wow, such an interesting presentation from Group C. Okay, give a big applause for Group C. Thank you so much for your interesting presentation. And now, from Dr. Corina and also Professor Shuling Chen, do you have any questions for Group C? Okay, Professor Shuling Chen has raised her hand. Okay, Professor Shuling Chen, do you have any questions for Group C?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just I'm so amazing that you just second year, in bachelor degree, right? Okay, so you since that you do a lot of things, even you produce really so funny video, okay, to show on webinar. But I still have really a quick question about that. Because you said that the elementary children student give you the positive feedback. What is positive feedback? Did you have any evidence or any data from them? And how many students receive your education? The sample size. Okay, could you answer it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Clear.
Actually, our participant cannot attend our live webinar, so we pre-recorded it. But from the Google Form feedback, we only received one response, which is from the only student that participated in the webinar, and she evaluated us with a high mark. So we guess that we believe that our presentation, our webinar was well received by her. That is the only reason why we said that our webinar was well received.
All right. If that, because from questionnaire interview or some activity, we always show the pre-webinar or after post-webinar. Okay, if you have any data for the comparison.
Sorry, but we didn't have any pre and post evaluation form like that. We just only prepare the feedback form for them. And for the pre-assessment, we just did the game to know, to get knowledge whether they can participate effectively in the game or in the quizzes, just by looking at that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for Group C and also Professor Shuling for the questions. And maybe from Dr. Corina, do you have any questions for Group C?
Yes, thank you, Miss Naura. All right, thank you, Nourish and Amnia for the wonderful presentation about food and brain. Yeah. Okay. My question is, so from the beginning of your webinar, so meaning that your recorded presentation was watched by only one participant. Is it true?
Actually, we are not very sure because we sorry, because we don't know whether the participants actually watch our video or not. We just pre-recorded it and we upload it in YouTube and give the link to our teaching assistant, and he gave the link to the students to watch it by themselves.
Okay, as our future dietitian, yeah, both of you. So I think it's good to get the demographic information of your participants, yeah, in terms of their economic status, in terms of their food consumption, yeah, because you give a lot of information regarding the food for the brain, yeah. So this information is very important, for you to see the impact and also how they practice or how their eating behavior, yeah. And for your case, you only have one respondent. So in future, I'm suggesting if you only have one respondent, you can conduct a qualitative research, yeah, where you observe and then you conduct interview session to get deeper understanding. Seems that you only have one respondent, so that you can have a better understanding, and it's very useful for us to hear your outcome. All right. Okay. All the best to you, Amni and Nourish. Back to you, Miss Naura.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Corina, for your question and also recommendation. And also thank you so much for Group C for your amazing presentation. And okay, now move to the fourth speakers. We have the Group D with us today. There are Nur Patricia and also Shaza Firzana. Am I right? Okay, maybe you can say hello to me and also all the participants here.
Hi.
Okay. Okay, so you guys already here, and maybe if you are ready, you may start your presentation now. Your 15 minutes starts now.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I am Nur Patricia and my friend Shaza Birzana. Today we are going to make a project evaluation about webinar of choosing healthy foods and drinks. So we will present the results of the pre and post task of the webinar. For your information, the webinar was conducted on the 15th, 22nd, and 23rd of June. So next. Okay, So these are the contents of this project evaluation. So in this project evaluation, we are going to talk and present about the introduction, the reasons for choosing this topic, video presentation, pre and post question evaluation, conclusion, and compilations of screenshots during the program. Next. So let me explain about the introduction. So the topic of this webinar is a webinar of choosing healthy foods and drinks. The participants of this webinar is a 10-year-old student from Indonesia, and our goal is to change the eating habit of the student by encouraging the student to choose healthy foods and drinks. In this webinar session, we use Bahasa as communication language so that the student can easy to understand what we are presenting. So next. Why do we choose this topic? So let me explain the reason why we choose this topic. Next slide. So so as we all know, nowadays there are many convenience food and fast food available in the market. However, many of them are unhealthy. And for me, it is very important for the student to have the knowledge about healthy food and drink. So when they attend the webinar session, they will get the knowledge about how to choose healthy food and drink. So they will know which food is good for their health and which food is bad for their health. Besides, this webinar also can encourage the students to eat healthy food and drink. And it also can increase the students' awareness about the benefits of eating healthy food. So next. We will present to you guys the video during the webinar session. So yeah.
We start our webinar with the ice-breaking session. In the first meeting, we start our webinar with the ice-breaking session. In the ice-breaking session, we ask the student to introduce themselves. Besides, we also ask them about their favorite food and drink. The purpose of ice-breaking session is to know more about their food intake and to make a good engagement with the student. Next, we show the example of unhealthy food to the student, such as snacks, fast food, and ice cream. In this part, we inform the student that we should limit the intake of unhealthy food. Furthermore, we also provide a few reasons why we should reduce the intake of these kinds of foods. After that, we show the examples of healthy food to the student. The examples of healthy foods are vegetables, fish, poultry, and fruits. Apart from that, we also tell the student about the type of nutrients and the functions of nutrients that are present in each of the food. By providing these informations, it will help the student to identify the types of healthy and unhealthy food.
Next, in the second webinar, we discussed about healthy foods and drinks, why we need to consume them, the benefits of eating healthy foods, and consequences of eating unhealthy foods and drinks with the student. During the session, we explained about Tumpeng Gizi Seimbang, which is a cone-shaped balanced nutrition guidelines that has been used for nutritional educational purposes in Indonesia, which is meant to represent the principles of balanced nutrition. It shall consist of 5 layers from top to bottom, which are fat, sugar, salt, animal protein source, vegetables and fruits, and lastly, staple food. Furthermore, we also give an explanation about a plate guide or piring makanku porsi sekali makan, which illustrates the recommended proportions of food groups to be consumed in each meal. Apart from that, we shared about the benefits of eating healthy foods and consequences of eating unhealthy foods and drinks as well. The purpose of this is to let the student know the importance of healthy foods to her health and to encourage her to consume more of it. Next, the webinar session is continued with a game session where we ask the student some questions regarding the topic that we just shared to the student. And lastly, we ended the second webinar with a Q&A session. Next, in the third webinar session, we continue with the topic of nutrient deficiency disease. Start with malnutrition, which is categorized into three parts. They are undernutrition, micronutrient-related malnutrition, and overweight or obesity. Nowadays, undernutrition and overweight or obesity becomes common during middle childhood. Therefore, we choose this topic in order to give knowledge to the student about the consequences of not getting enough nutrients. Next, we explained about micronutrient-related malnutrition, which is the inadequacies in intakes of vitamins and minerals, such as iron deficiency anemia, scurvy, rickets, and many more.
Next, we explain more about iron deficiency anemia, scurvy, and rickets. In the webinar, we explain about what are the diseases, the cause and symptoms of the diseases, and how to prevent the disease. By providing these informations, it will increase the students' awareness of the disease. In the first meeting,
Okay, hi, I'm Shaza. I will continue with pre and post knowledge comparison. Okay, next slide. Okay, so during the webinar, we prepared a Google form to the student to answer several questions in order to know her understanding of nutrition. So we gave the Google form before the second meeting and after the third meeting to see whether she fully understood the topic that we explained to her. Okay, so first question was, what category the vegetables belong to in the group of nutrients? So as we can see here, the student answered the question incorrectly before the program. But after the nutrition education, she chose fiber, which is the correct answer. Next slide. Okay, besides, for the second question, the student answered the question correctly before and after the program, which shows that she knows this knowledge where humans are recommended to drink 8 glasses of plain water per day. Next slide. Okay, so same goes to the third and fourth question. The student chose the right definition and benefit of healthy foods before and after the program. Next slide. Another next slide. Okay. Moving on to fifth question. Is brown rice considered as healthy food? It is understandable that she answered the question incorrectly before the program. However, after the program, she managed to get the correct answer. Okay, next, the question of consequences of consuming unhealthy foods and drinks. Before the program, the student chose underweight, which is the wrong answer. Meanwhile, after the program, she gets the correct answer. For the seventh question, before the program, the student answered that eating too much snacks was the answer to being underweight. However, she picked inadequate calorie intake, which is the correct answer to the question after the program. In the last question, the student answered incorrectly both before and after the program. This might be because we did not highlight or explain enough about how anemia can be prevented to the student. And the correct answer is iron. Okay, so overall, we can see that the webinar session assists to give some knowledge to the student to some extent. Okay, move on to conclusion. So the goals and messages are accomplished and well delivered. This is because the student shows outstanding results in pre and post questions and also shows understanding of the topic. Okay, next slide. Last but not least, here are the compilations of pictures during the webinar. Next slide. Okay, so that's all from us, Shaza and Patricia. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for Group D for your amazing presentation. And maybe from Dr. Corina and also Professor Schuling, do you have any questions for Group D? Okay, Professor Schuling has raised her hand. Maybe you have questions, Professor Schuling?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your very distinguished talk. But I want a really small question. How many students join your Weber class? And you are really good to compare between a before and a post webinar. But it seems that almost 100% is the answer is correct. Okay, why? Can you give some comment for this?
Okay, so to answer the question, we actually have only one participant. At first, we were told that we got to have 4 participants, but I'm not really sure, but there's only only one participant that able to attend our webinar. That's why it is 100%.
Yeah, in my opinion, maybe your question is too easy to understand. Sorry, before and after seems similar. Okay, so maybe the 10 years old kids, maybe you can try to figure out the question more difficult, or, yeah, more advanced for them. And another is my recommendation that in your study, maybe you can, because it's really hard to let them know what is unhealthy food. Okay, so if you you give some disease or symptom like a dentist, like malnutrition, okay, maybe you can ask some question. Did you have if they are students, so you can they are kids, you can ask them the question, if you have any symptom, very light or simple symptom, and then they will respond to you, since that I have, so then you can link to their diet. Okay, that can let them involved in your study and more wellness their symptom or their dietary content. Thank you. Okay, I finished.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for Professor Shuling for the recommendation, also the questions. Do you have any comments for that, Group D, or maybe that's a wrap before we move to the next question? Okay, maybe enough. Okay, from Dr. Corina, do you have any questions for Group D?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Naura. Okay, congratulations to Patricia and Shaza for managing to conduct the webinar. Okay, I have one question for you all. Okay, may I know what is the most significant findings, yeah, that you want to share with us?
Doctor, sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, I repeat my question. So during your study, what is the most significant findings that you would like to share with us?
Oh, okay. So in this in our program, we chose unhealthy foods and drinks as the topic to share to the students. So the important part of the webinar of our topic is to encourage the student to eat more healthy foods and drinks instead of unhealthy foods such as junk food, carbonated water, carbonated drink, and many more. And we also wanted to try to change their habit before, which is eating unhealthy foods and drinks to eat healthy foods and drinks. Okay. Yeah.
Right,
So
and then
answer the question.
no, when we conduct a study, yeah, sometimes along the journey you find something that is very significant. Oh, this is something that changed, or this is something that happened. Oh wow, this is happening. So is there anything like that you encounter during your study?
We evaluate the changes by the Google form that we shared to the student. So as we can see that the student before program, they did know some of the information of the nutrition. So after our nutrition education, after our program, we can see that the student managed to answer the question that we give her correctly. Okay.
All right, then I pass back to Miss Naura. Thank you, Shaza.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for Dr. Corina and also Group D for the question and also the amazing answer. And now we move to the fifth speakers. We have Group E with us today. There are Sadia Ali and also Saliha Khalid. Hello, Group E, can you hear me? You are still inaudible. Maybe you can turn on the speaker and say hi to the audience.
Hello, I'm audible.
Okay, I've already heard you. Okay, if you are ready to present your material, you have 15 minutes and your 15 minutes starts now.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. Hello, everyone. By this time, we all know about what are the healthy food and what are junk food. But as we are assigned to do our session with elementary school child who have not that much aware of it. Next. So yeah, Myself, Sadia Dirafa from Bangladesh, doing BSc in Nutrition and Food Engineering from Daffodil International University, and my partner, Saliha Khalid from Pakistan. She completed her graduation in biochemistry. Next. Next. So we choose the topic of healthy food versus junk food. So why we choose this topic? Nowadays, we see people are more busy to professional life so that they have less time to cook food and also have healthy food. So that so that we are choosing junk food over the healthy food. Also, we are using processed food which are not that good for health. We also talk about the health issues as like consuming health food, we can improve our memory, can boost energy, fight with disease, also can strong bones and control weight. But if we consume more junk food, we cannot control our body weight, as also cannot immune our system. Next. Next. So we can see here the slide with the healthy food content, which is carbohydrate, fat, protein, and vitamin, minerals. These are the healthy food which is contained, but next. And the junk food which contain more sugar, salt, and fat, which is trans fat most. Next. Next. Also, we have talked about the healthy diet, healthy balanced diet. What portion they need to consume: carb, protein, fat. Also, we have talked about the food pyramid, and now my partner Saliha Khalid will continue.
Hello everyone. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you speak louder, Saliha?
Yes, Professor. Thank you very much. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm myself Saliha Khalid, and today we are here to present the whole efforts of our project and kind of presentation of our topic with discussion about the healthy food and the junk food. So I'm here to present a brief recap of our whole like the efforts of whole month approximately to conduct the research and to actually teach the children regarding the healthy food and the junk food. So the brief description of our project is here. We have the title of healthy food and the junk food, and the participants of our project include the elementary school students from Indonesia, and the duration of this program was about 2 to 3 weeks in the month of June 2022. And we have like finalized to discuss 3 sessions with the children to focus on the healthy food and junk food. And the major goal of our project was to introduce the children with the concept of healthy food and junk food and how they can distinguish the things and how which food they prefer to eat, either the junk food or the healthy food. So yeah, for we have divided our project into 3 portions. For section 1, 2, and 3 is we have different parts like the meet and greet session. We like introduce ourselves to the children and have a brief and playful greetings with the children. Then we have the ice breaking session for the journal introduction and the basic knowledge about Indonesia. and then the gaming session which focus on the choice of children's either the healthy food or the junk food. And then we have the finalized fun quiz, the short quiz type, either they prefer to eat the burger or pizzas, or either they prefer to go with the fruits and vegetables. And then we have session two, which will be more focused about the serious discussion about the healthy food and the junk food. And there was the very important discussion about the healthy food and the junk food. Then we have a short description about the food pyramids, the healthy plate concept, and the final quiz, which is the second session was quite serious time and very informative for giving the much clear insights to the children about the healthy food and the junk food. The last section was very competitive for the children because we decided to like distribute the certificates for the children as the completion of their program. So we just did the recap of the section, then we have the fun quiz to ask the general questions like the junk food and the healthy food. Like the junk food contain more spices and the salts, while the healthy food contain the fruit, and either they prefer to take fruits with them to their schools and the lunch boxes, or they prefer to take the. Then we have fun activities like the drawing activities. The drawing activity was actually to develop their creativity, that we asked them to draw their favorite fruit or vegetable in the white box of the Zoom chat. And finally, we distribute their certificates. That was the successful part of the whole session, and the students look more energetic during the sessions. And the certificates were actually the very promoting part of the whole session. Then we have some flags to present because we were very energetic also and excited for the whole training sessions. It was very like the innovative idea for us as well to present ourselves and to meet and greet with the children. Because the Indonesian culture was very new for me and for my partner as well, because I'm from Pakistan and she's from Bangladesh. It was very informative session, and the most informative thing for me is to have a clear idea about how Indonesian parents teach their children. The Indonesian parents more prefer to give their children the healthy food. They prefer to treat them with the healthy food like the fruits and the vegetables, and they prefer to send them with the fruits in their bags in the lunch boxes. So that was very informative and very insightful point for me as well, because I was very excited. In today's world, people prefer to eat and go with the junk food, the burger, the pizzas, the cold drinks, the carbonated waters, and I was assuming the same for Indonesia as well. But the session was very informative for me to have an idea that Indonesian parents are very much concerned about their children's health and to send their children with the healthy food in their bag as well. So here are some of the clips of our whole sessions. We were focused about the spices, the constituents of the junk food or the spicy food is more rich in spices, in salt, and in extra like the flavoring components as well. This picture was the depiction of the first session where we go with the ice breaking session and general discussion about the Indonesian culture. The kid interest during the session was we asked them to draw their favorite fruit and vegetable, or fruit or vegetable, and we are very much thankful to Ms. Tasia for participating in this activity as well. Yes, there are some other insights about the healthy eating, healthy plate, how healthy food is important. Now, the most important thing is to why we are conducting these surveys and how we conclude from the whole session and discussion with the children and with the teachers as well. Before the survey, we were supposed to ask the children about the healthy food and the junk food, but they were not much clear about, because they are more focused to eat the healthy food. They don't know much about the junk food, what are their components, how they treat the body, how they treat the mind, how they boost the energy or they lower down the energy of the body. So after the survey, we conduct the survey. We definitely our partners as well for the whole session of nutrition education. Every participant like deliver their knowledge and education to the children. So now they are very much clear about the junk food actually, because they are treated to eat healthy food and they're not much concerned about the junk food. But now they're much clear how the burger and pizzas and the carbonated foods and drinks actually activate or deactivate and treat our stomach and our body and boost our energy, a lot of the energy. So then the students are now much clear are now much clear about the concept of junk food actually. So that was the major focus of our session, to give much clear insight to the children about junk food actually, how they are able to compare the junk food and the healthy food. So that was the successful completion of our project and our whole training session, that the students get more clear insight and idea about healthy food and how healthy food is important for our body, how it provides us energy, it boosts our immune system, it boosts our immunity, it treats with the good decay, it treats with the stomach problems, and how the junk food actually deactivate or go down the energies and treat our stomachs badly. The conclusion of our presentation was that was very much a successful session, and we engaged the children, we engaged them with the certificates as well, we provide them enough knowledge about the healthy food and the junk food. We have some quiz questions and answers. We have fun quizzes. That was actually the like the brain storming sessions and the creative learning sessions for the children. And we are very much hopeful the same concept for every children, because we are unfortunately very able to treat with the like maximum 5 students. And we are very much hopeful to deal with the same concept with other students as well. Here are some of the sorry. Yeah. The insight of our whole session is a quick recap. This is the end of our presentation, and we are very much thankful to the professor, the course instructor, Ms. Tasia, the students as well for giving us actually this big platform to present our qualities. And actually, this is actually a learning process for us as well. So thank you very much. We enjoyed the session, and a big thanks for everyone. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for Group E for your very insightful presentation, and what a great presentation, because you also provide the video at the end of presentation. That's great. Okay, give a big applause for Group E, and thank you so much for your presentation. And now from Dr. Corina and also Professor Shuling Chen, do you have any questions for Group E?
Okay, Miss Naura, let me ask a question first, yeah?
Okay.
Okay, so congrats to Sadia and Saliha for managing to conduct a webinar, yeah, about nutrition education. All right, so it's not easy to conduct an webinar, yeah. All right, based on your experience conducting this session, yeah, and you mentioned just now it is a process of learning. So may I know what is the best way, yeah, to give an advice to parents so that their kids can avoid junk food?
Thank you very much for this question. And the very, very informative part of the whole training session for me was to know that the parents are, for the Indonesian parents are actually very much concerned to deal their children with the healthy food. They're not pushing their children to eat like the junk food, to give them the burger and pizzas and the carbonated waters to go and just enjoy the food. They're Indonesian people that are actually very much concerned about the children's health, and this was very like the key taking, you can say the key taking for me for the whole session, because I was not much sure about the concept of Indonesian people. But if we talk about outside from Indonesia, and like the Americans, even the Pakistanis, the Bangladeshis, we are very much focused and very much like greedy about the taste of the burgers and pizzas. Our parents, we just request them to give the burger and pizzas, and give or they even give them wild foods like that. Go ahead and order for yourself what you want to eat. So this situation is very much different for Indonesian people and the parents, because they are very much concerned to deal their children with the healthy food. So the only advice for the parents from all over the world is to be conscious about the healthy food, because for Indonesian parents, as they pack the foods like the healthy food, the fruits and vegetables, and send the foods with their children in the lunch boxes. So this is very innovative and very like the best concept ever.
All right, thank you. Back to you, Miss Naura.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Corina, and also Group E for the question and also the answer. Okay, maybe from Professor Shuling Chen, do you have any questions for Group E?
Yeah, all right, thank you. Finally, I see the sample size first. By student join your webinar, but I still have a question that, did you ever link, because you're using junk food and healthy food, right? So did you ever link it to disease or to some illness or symptom to show this linkage to the student, the first? And did you ever select, because you using the quiz to help them to choose the food, all right? Okay, did you after you deliver your knowledge, after that, did you ever try to let them select again to choose what kinds of food they prefer?
Yes, Miss, thank you very much for the question. Yes, we have so many quizzes and so many charts at the end of every session to derive the knowledge of to choose either the junk food or the healthy food. If you can see in the video and in the, I guess I have put the screenshot in the PowerPoints as well. There is a whole chart containing more than like 30 pictures of different foods, the mixture of the healthy food and the junk food, and we ask them to choose for what food they prefer to go, the either the junk food or the healthy food. And yes, we give them the comparison along with the diseases, because for the children they are very much concerned about their teeth, about their body. Like if a kid is healthy and having a huge body mass, and on the other side we have a kid with the thin body, and then preferably they like the thin body or the slim man. They prefer to go with them, or we have so many loves for the healthy people as well. But as the person is healthy, it means he is taking the junk food. If the person is healthy and having big body mass, it doesn't mean that he or she is taking the healthy food. It means that they are taking the junk food, which actually harm their body, their stomach, and increase their body mass actually. Not the mental health, not the body energy, but the junk food actually just increasing their body mass. Like we have the comparison of the people, like if a person, we give the comparison of me and Sadia as well. Like if Sadia is on the one side and me on the other side, then who is more healthy? If Sadia is taking the junk food and me taking the healthy food, then who is more healthy? So we have such type of comparisons, and we try our best to give them the concept of healthy eating and healthy person along with related with the diseases.
Okay, is that enough, Professor Shuling Chen, or do you want to ask another question? Okay. Okay, thank you so much for Group E for your answer. And that's a wrap. Okay, I would like to congratulate all of the participants on all of the groups for your amazing presentation. That's a wrap from presentation session. And thank you so much for all groups for your amazing and very insightful presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, now come to the question and answer session. And for this session, if you have any questions for our speakers today, you may type your questions in the chat room and I'll read it for you. Or maybe if you want to ask directly to the speakers, you may raise your hand and unmute yourself after I call your name. Okay, for all participants, if you have any questions for our amazing speakers today, for Professor Shuling Chen and also Dr. Corina, if you have any questions for both of them, you may ask your question, you may deliver your question in the chat room, or maybe you want to ask directly, you may raise your hand and I'll call your name after that, and you may unmute yourself and deliver your questions. Okay, is there any questions? Or maybe you want to type your questions, that's okay. I will read them for you, and don't forget to insert your name. Okay. Okay, we have our question. Okay. Okay, so we have already had one question from Nurul Dina. Before that, so the first question is coming from Dina from University Indonesia, and she is currently assisting one of the Indonesian education institutions to monitor the implementation of school-based nutrition program. And she asked about the evaluation or effectiveness research on the intervention from Dr. Corina's explanation. And for Mrs. Tina, because Dr. Corina has already answered your questions, is that clear for you? Or maybe you want to ask another questions?
Yeah, Mrs. Laura, thank you very much for the opportunity. I think it's quite clear. I think we just need further research on how we can find the most cost-effective intervention, because so many interventions given, so many resources being explored, then we just need to compare what kind of intervention that is actually cost effective so that we can implement nationwide. I think that's quite clear, Ms. Nora. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Tina, for your question, for your amazing question. And maybe from Dr. Corina, do you have any additional answer, or maybe you want to add more answer to respond Mrs. Tina's questions? Or is that clear, or is that rough?
Yeah, but just to give motivation to Ms. Dina. So keep up, Ms. Dina. Your research is very beneficial to the community. If you have the opportunity to do a longer research, you can do some follow-up. You can see the progress of your intervention. So all the best.
Thank you, Dr. Corina.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Maybe for all of the participants, maybe you want to ask another questions. Okay, from Professor Shuling Chen, do you have any questions?
Okay, thank you. I have a question about to ask from Karina. Okay, because from today's report or from your talk, we all know the focus we major the nutrition education is pay attention on the kids. However, you know, the prepare meal or the education not only even the subject is for kids, but you know who can provide the food, who can prepare the food, or give the cash to the kids to buy some junk food, or buy the junk food to kids. Okay, so in Malaysia, did you in the government or even the education institution like yours, what kinds of subject, what kinds of group you also pay attention or pay a lot of effort in delivering the education program?
All right, thank you so much for Shuling for the very important question. Talking in Malaysia perspective, actually we do concentrating on all levels actually, but more concentrating on the preschool, because I can see that many programs has been conducted for the preschool, and parents usually pay more attention for the young children compared to when they're getting older. And when they're getting older, mostly the students create their awareness to participating in nutrition education programs, or when they participating in any community program. So that is how Malaysia see in terms of the nutrition education and also practice in our nutrition education. But mostly the main provider, the main organization in our awareness in our program is our Ministry of Health. They have conducted a lot of programs and also activities, and we as the implementer of the program, and we support the programs. And when we teach, especially the science subject, in all level, we have science subject, and science subject, we can emphasize the nutrition education awareness. I hope I answer your question, Prof.
Yeah, thank you. But in my opinion, because my kids is elementary kids, okay, so every time when he receives some information from school, after she come back to home, he always say, "Mom, I cannot eat something junk food." Okay, but 1 week later, he forgot everything. Okay, but mom will keep in mind. Yeah, so maybe the education apply in the parents, maybe it's more efficient. Yeah, and persist for a longer time more than kids. Thank you.
Yeah, this also happened to me. Yeah, my kids when he came back, did you took your lunch? No, I didn't take it. The teacher throw it away. Why? Teacher said it's junk food. So I said, oh no.
Yeah.
We also have to create awareness when we're
Yeah.
providing the meals to our kids. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, is that all? Okay, maybe if all the participants want to ask questions, feel free to ask the questions in the room chat, or maybe you want to unmute yourself and raise your hand. You may raise your hand and I'll call your name after that, and maybe you can deliver your question.
I would like to ask question to Prof. Shuling. Yeah, based on your talk regarding the diet and the control of kidney diseases, yeah, um, from your expertise, most of us like to take herbal, yeah, consume herbal to treat any kidney diseases. So, what do you think this kind of practice?
Okay. The Zhu means herb treatment.
Yeah, herb. Yeah.
Okay, herb. Okay, in Taiwan, Taiwan is the top one of the world for the prevalence of kidney disease. Okay, that's why, because Taiwanese like to eat many medicine. Okay, including herb. Okay, especially someone with kidney dysfunction. They always hear someone reminding, oh, something herb is really good, so we eat that. So in Taiwan now, because the high awareness, yeah, we know, yeah, because you know the treatment hybrid maybe affect our treatment efficiency. So now, if you you process for the medicine treatment, so the doctor always avoid or advise their patient without herb treatment. So I also agree for that, but you know, it's by the patients, their choice. So it's really hard to stop them to do that. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if there is no another questions, thank you so much for Dr. Corina and also Professor Shuling Chen for your question and also answer. And ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of this webinar. And before I close the webinar, I would like to take the conclusion from what the speakers has presented. You are what you eat, because healthy body comes from healthy food, and healthy diet will produce a healthy body too. And nutrition education enables the audience to make their own healthy food choices, because one of the benefits from eating healthy food is eating healthy food affect our future too. And I'd like to thank the speaker for the informative and interesting presentation, and all the participants for the very active participation. And finally, give applause for the speaker and for you all. And before we end this webinar, we would like to give certificates for the speakers, and also as an appreciation for your insightful material. And the certificate will be given by Mr. Trias. And for the committees, could you please show the certificate? And if you don't mind, we would like to take a picture first. And for the committees who's in charge to take a picture, time and screen are yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Corina, and also Prof. Shuling for taking the time to assist us with our program of webinars. We hope that we know that the work of some of our students is need to be improved, because with the pandemic, we see that having webinar is a little bit difficult, especially maintaining the school children. As you say, from many of the groups, we have only 1 and 5 children that actively engage in our session. However, all of the Amerta students can deliver nutrition education greatly. Thank you very much, Dr. Corina, and also Prof. Shuli.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe for the committees who's in charge to take a picture, could you please help me to take a picture? And thank you so much for Mr. Trias and also our amazing speakers, Dr. Corina and also Professor Shuling Chen. Okay, maybe I will count until 3 for the first speaker for Dr. Corina. Maybe I'll count until 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, have you done? Maybe next to the second speaker. The certificate for Professor Shuling Chen. Okay, maybe for the committee who's in charge, could you please take a picture? Okay, I'll count until 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for Professor Shuling Chen and also Dr. Corina for your participation and also amazing presentation. And next, please welcome Mr. Trias to give a closing statement for our session today.
Okay. Once again, thank you very much, Prof. Shuling, and so Dr. Corina, and also big congratulations for all of the Amerta students this year that been able to execute nutrition education as part of the learning session for your classes. Once again, if we talk about nutrition education, it's a sustainable effort that we need to do, like Prof. Shuling and Dr. Corina beautifully discussed about the port of entry on how to make the behavior change is sustainable. It's not only about one particular group such as children, but also other supporting participants like parents and teachers. All of them should be targeted in our own capacity. So the exercise that all of the students have been done is part of the courses that we taught in nutrition education, and I hope this also illuminate the difficulties and also challenges in conducting nutrition education. I'm sure that if the intervention have been done offline or directly, it's going to be more effective. But with the online, this is what we can do during the pandemic. I think it's very good that the student shows creativity on making of materials and videos, also games that can improve the engagement of the elementary student in Indonesia. And not forget to mention that there's also barriers and challenges in terms of culture between Indonesia and also Malaysia, Pakistan, and Bangladesh that might play a role, and also time difference with, Makassar and Malaysia might be the same time but different kind of what they call time zone actually, also with Pakistan and also Bangladesh. Well done, everybody, and also thank you very much for our teaching assistant, Mas Diki, and also Mbak Tasha, who's been very good at assisting all of the students conducting the project for this year. We hope that the next project we can have it offline so we can have a better result, as Prof. Shuling and also Dr. Corina mentioned. Indicators for effectiveness should be made in more rigorous way. Thank you very much, everybody. All the best. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, now before we end the seminar, let's take a picture together. To all of the participants, please turn your camera on and the committees will take a picture. Okay, for all participants, could you please turn your camera on? Okay, so I can see your beautiful faces. Okay, so several participants has already turned the camera on. Maybe for those who haven't turned the camera on, you may turn the camera on for a second. And for the committees who's in charge to take a picture, time and screen are yours.
Okay, everyone, I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once more. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the committee who's in charge. Okay, but please don't go anywhere because after this session, there will be a post-test session for all of the participants. And the link will be shared in the room chat, and all of the participants must fill out the post-test as the attendance form. And you'll be given 5 minutes to fill out the form. And for the committee who's in charge to share the link, could you please share the link in the room chat? Okay, so the link has already shared. Okay, so you may begin your post test now. We will be given 5 minutes start from now. Okay, so the post test will be until 2:50, and after that we will do a closing. And for the participants who, okay, thank you so much. Okay, for all of the participants, you may check your room chat, and there is already the link for the post test. And if you have any trouble in accessing the link, you can complain in the room chat, and you may begin your process. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the process session is already over. Well, this is the end of our seminar, and as the moderator, I would like to say thank you to the amazing speakers and all of the participants for coming here today. And I also would like to apologize if there were mistakes during webinar. And thank you so much. Good afternoon and have a nice day. See you in another occasion. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Corina, Prof. Shuling.
Thank you so much, Dr. Corina, and also Professor Shuling, and also Mr. Trias for accompanying me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mbak Naura.
Bye. Okay, thank you for all participants for joining with us today. And have a nice day, everyone.
Indonesian universities to create a positive academic climate in its campuses. The goal is in line with the vision of Universitas Airlangga to become an independent, innovative, and leading university both at national and international levels. As one of the best universities in Indonesia, Universitas Airlangga holds the responsibility to contribute to a more significant development in the global scale. This responsibility is reflected from the efforts to enhance the quality of education towards the global standards, to improve the research and innovation performance, and to conduct community services to the wider group of community. All of these efforts are derived from the spirits and values of Universitas Airlangga's motto, excellence with morality. The motto serves as a foundation of various elements in the academic aspect of university.